write your lines and send it to Ida.
Your lines.
So he's coming up.
Good morning. At this time, we'll call to order the Hamilton County Drainage Board for a meeting of September 22, 2025. Let the record reflect we have a quorum of all three members. First item is approval of the executive session memoranda of today.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second item, approval of the minutes of September 8, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
We have a hearing. Clara Knott's Drain, Parkwood Drive, ARM, 96 and College Reconstruction.
Yes, before you is a petition to vacate a portion of the Clara Knott's Drain Parkwood Crossing Arm by the City of Carmel. Vacation is for a proposed roundabout and road relocation located on College Avenue between 96th Street and 101st Street in southern Clay Township. The hearing was scheduled on July 28th of this year, and as of now, the surveyor's office recommends approval.
Okay, how much is being vacated here?
So, several hundred feet, 895 feet of regulated drain. The largest stretch in terms of size is a 21-inch reinforced concrete pipe, so.
Well, are we narrowing the easement or vacating in total?
So majority of the easements are just right-of-way, public right-of-way, and then there is a portion outside of the right-of-way, but I think for the most part, the easements are in the right-of-way, so.
Well, is there a reason why we don't just allow encroachment instead of vacation? Do we have enough to work on this regulated drain?
Yeah, well, essentially a lot of the infrastructure is being replaced by drainage infrastructure that'll be maintained by Carmel. So we figured that the scope of the project was significant enough that we allowed for the vacation.
Well, my question is, we still have to maintain the regulated drain.
Yes, the portions to remain, yeah.
There's very little though.
There's not a lot.
Well, that's not giving me great comfort.
Yeah, essentially, the drainage infrastructure that's in place, actually, too, another important point is, I believe it's already been removed by the road project. Another issue. But the drainage infrastructure that is being more or less replaced by the road infrastructure appears to solely be for the benefit of College Avenue and the intersection. And
So what happens to our water coming through?
well, it's we really don't have any. It's purely within the watershed of the drain that's being vacated is completely accommodated by the new infrastructure being installed by Carmel. So there's not any water that's being conveyed through this as a regulated drain. It's more or less independent.
But where's our water going?
Well, our water that comes down from the Clara Knott's watershed and down College Avenue is actually routed through Parkwood, and that is being maintained and won't be vacated. This infrastructure, I said, is merely for College Avenue. When it was installed, it was just a drain.
But we still maintain all the stuff there in the Parkwoods, is that correct?
We do, and none of that really is being affected.
Well, why don't we just convert this to a consent to encroach? And that way, if we should ever need it, it's available.
And we can certainly do that. We'll have to the drains are being moved.
That's fine, we still have jurisdiction if it's just an encroachment.
And we can certainly do that.
And I think we need to look at that on all requests to vacate. Is consent to encroach provided maintenance is done? I mean, we're giving up a lot of territory that someday we might need.
Yeah, like I said, in this particular one, I looked at it as it solely benefits a small watershed, And with Carmel installing the new drainage to accommodate the new roundabout, serving that same acreage, there's really no other need. It really only serves the roadway. So, but certainly we can, but like I said, we're going to have to, the drains are moving, they're being relocated, resized.
Wouldn't that be important for us to know and have as-built?
Well, if this continues, if the new drainage infrastructure becomes regulated, yes, we will need the as-bills.
But if it doesn't, we will not.
Correct. And then the approach we had was, this just becomes the city of Carmel's drainage infrastructure.
But does this water still go into our outlet?
Yes, it
into our
does.
drain?
Yes.
So there still will be an assessment,
Correct.
maintenance assessment prorated with the rest of the property?
Correct.
It's a nightmare.
Okay.
Correct. Like I said, it's another issue. There's several other issues with Carmel down on College Avenue that this infrastructure is already gone. They've already removed it. This is an after-the-fact, despite our comments, they still went ahead and did the project. So,
Well, then they should continue to deal with us.
yes. And we certainly can do that. I have no issues either
Is there a
way.
motion to table till we get this straightened out? Or did we have the public hearing yet?
You did not.
So at this time, we'll open for public comment. The Clarinets Drain Parkwood Drive Arm, 96th Street and College Reconstruction Arm. Would anyone care to address the board? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion to table? Is there any motion?
What, if we do what Commissioner Altman wants to do, you have to re-advertise, is that right?
No. This is on a vacation hearing.
Correct. We
So
would.
what does it cause you to have to do?
So what we would need to do is deny the vacation request, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Deny the vacation request, and then what I'd need to do, I think for the benefit of the board, is prepare some exhibits for the board to consider that shows, here's the existing regulated drain and where the easements are, here's where they'll be after the reconstruction, and then we can,
To really provide more clarification.
correct. Yes, I think that's
Okay.
exactly what we'd have to
Just a
do.
suggestion, though, if we dismiss it now and then they come back later,
just
we got to
table it.
re-advertise, why don't we table it?
Yeah, we can do that as
Just
well.
table it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we may
That'd be
still
my-
decide to vacate after we look at all this stuff, but I just do not feel comfortable continuously vacating an important corner of our infrastructure.
But
Yeah, so-
based on what Gary said, I would think that we would be better off to approve this and just use your suggestion for future projects, not this.
But we don't have any formal agreement with Carmel that they're going to maintain or anything else, do we?
no, not of this.
That is the
But
big
again,
problem.
I'm all right tabling it, because I think that this exercise will give us a little bit more time to get our arms wrapped around what there is, and who's doing what, and right now, we don't know.
Yep.
And so,
If
you
we,
know, one part of me wants to just move forward and get it over with and move, but I'll second the tabling motion, but only
There hadn't
for
been one made yet.
clarification. She did.
no, I haven't, I
She
asked.
asked for one.
Okay, okay.
Well, you can make one.
Okay. I would make a motion to table only for clarification, to understand who is responsible for maintenance, as well as what our responsibilities will be if we do vacation.
Yeah,
second.
good.
Yes.
Okay, it's tabled.
And like I said, I'll prepare exhibits that show you exactly what we're talking about.
Well, and if we're making assumptions, they're going to take care of it. Assumptions got us in trouble on a lot of stuff we're having to clean up. So I think we need affirmative, we're going to do X, they'll do Y, so we make sure those people are served.
So you have a good understanding of what we're asking
Yes.
for?
I do.
You can get?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
This is not unlike, it's similar to a relinquishment that we've got, these people are gonna start, the municipalities are gonna come in and want to take care of
Right.
these things. We've got to assure we've got downstream capacity, either by controlling, by statute, we can require the municipality to reconstruct, but at a very minimum, we need to be able to require on-site detention and monitor release rates, because this is, he and I are spending about 3 hours between every meeting trying to figure out, and different people are calling it different things. Westfield's calling it a relinquishment, these guys are calling it a vacation. I think we got to get a framework for all of it.
Well, plus,
Yeah.
if we vacate, at some point, if Parkwood doesn't work and we need conveyance, we don't have the right to convey our water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll see it. I mean, in this case, like I said, it's the drain has a limited watershed, it's being accommodated. It would just be, it'd become purely a City of Carmel maintaining roadway drainage. It's essentially, our drain no longer has a function in terms of conveying any water outside the watershed. But I'll make an explanation so you guys can see. Absolutely.
Did you do the call?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And there really isn't there's not an urgency for this. I mean,
No, they're
like I
already
said,
did
they've
what
already
they
did.
did.
They're asking for forgiveness.
They've already done it, so
Permission anyway.
Well, that's the other thing we gotta do.
this is yours.
Okay, moving on, Drainage Board meeting dates. We have a list of dates, as everyone reviewed. They appear to be appropriate to me. How about you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those are meeting dates for 2026. No hearing requests. We have final reports for the H.A. McMullen Drain, Sly Run Drain, Williams Creek Drain, 2 of those arms. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Capital asset notifications.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have one variance agreement, William Krause Drain, Indiana American Water. This is a separation issue.
This is let me double check, so many of these. So yes, this is a separation issue. Indiana American Water is installing a gravity sewer on the east side of Sheridan, and this is a gravity sewer that drains from a service area that includes a lift station, as well as some gravity sewer that crosses underneath the outlet of the William Krause Drain. And that variance, initial variance has already been before the board, and this is this is just our standard agreement associated with that variance for vertical separation.
So they have agreed to all the terms that we require.
Correct, and they have already signed it.
And you're good with everything?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have 7 non-enforcements that appear all to be recommended as approved by the surveyor's office.
Motion to
Yes.
approve all the non-enforcements listed?
Second.
Discussion on any of them?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have no violations, we have no spills, we have no surety acceptance nor release. We have construction updates.
Yes, Clarinot's Drain, that was actually supposed to start today. I will check on the status of that. So that's been one that we've been waiting on for several years, but it was scheduled to start today.
We've had several pieces of communication, I
Correct.
believe, on that. Could you address those, please?
Yes, so there are 2, I'm going to forget their names, but we're aware of 2 people that have reached out to the office. We have talked with one of them. The gentleman that sent the email, I have not yet responded to his email, but in general, the group, this is at the end of Central Avenue, which is the final outlet of the drainage project. It goes under a large landscaping mound that was installed as part of that development there on the south side. And they don't understand the need for the project because they're claiming they don't have any flooding problems. They're concerned about the removal of mature trees and the removal of the berm itself. However, this project's been programmed for years. Actually, I believe some parts of the design of this project go back to the 1980s, and this is where all the water does outlet. And the residents at the end of Central Avenue, while they may not have any flooding problems, as we know, the flooding problems are really farther north. And what this is this is just where all the pipe conveyance eventually is collected and conveyed down and discharges to where the pipe has adequate capacity to accept that water.
Okay.
So we had proper public hearing, everyone was noticed. And it has been, as the board knows, delayed in the actual construction, and now that it's starting, they voiced their concerns about the project.
Commissioner Dillinger, didn't you suggest to one of the persons that emailed you that they
Yeah, and I'm
come?
not sure it was on this drain, I was gonna ask in a minute. I promised somebody that emailed me that they could speak if they came today. So is there someone in the audience that I made that promise to?
That would care to address the board on their drainage concerns? I think it was on this drain.
I
You
think it
showed me
was
that.
too.
Yeah.
Right.
And you
I just wanted to make
communicated
sure
with
we give
them?
them an opportunity.
And no one's here to speak specifically on this drain? Or elsewise?
Or any other drain.
Okay, well, we've given them the opportunity to explain their position versus the surveyor's opinion, and I think we move on.
And I will still reach out to them. I know Luther talked to one of the two that we're aware of, and I'll respond to the email from that other gentleman.
Okay, can you get it done this week?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Gary, the issue that you just presented, where there's mounds and trees and all of that, are you seeking action on that today, or do we?
When we took bids for the project, we looked at,
Wasn't that the mounding that cost more, and we
Yes.
did a special
we
assessment?
did a special assessment on, and I'm forgetting the name of that development to the south. It's not Parkwood. I just can't remember the name of the development. It's where the hotel is, or at least the hotel used to be.
Could be Parkwood.
But we did a special assessment for the additional cost to remove and replace the mound. But we took bids, when we took bids, we did an alternate to Jack and Bore underneath the mound, but it was too expensive. So we have made attempts to minimize that impact,
Right,
so,
okay. Thank you for addressing that.
yes, ma'am. Cool Creek Drain, I'm still looking to see what I need to do to close that out with Jerry's departure. Mary Wilson, Oak Park Drain, that work does continue. They are now on the north side of the Hayward parcel and continue. I've been having conversations with some of the landowners in the Grassy Branch development regarding the status of the condition of that area. And I replied last week regarding some of their questions. Hortonville Drain, I did hear back from the contractor with my proposed change order. There, we had to reduce the scope based on the funding that was available. He had two comments regarding some of his unit prices that I'm going to look at, and I'm hoping to have that change order to the board at the next meeting. Fingerton Drain, we are waiting for the crops to come out. I did get an email from the contractor last week asking what we're looking at in terms of when they think crops will come out. And I actually did also return a call Friday to Chip McCauley. He had some questions about the status of the drain as well. He owns some acreage there. I called him Friday. Hopefully, we'll talk to him this week. William Lear Drain, J.S. McCarty Phase 3. That was the one we were waiting for one last easement to be secured, which we now have. And I know the contractor's looking for a date just to mobilize back out there and finish the job. He already has? All right, thank you. And that is also to completely go, it's not a construction update, but we did receive a tort claim from that same landowner that we were waiting for the easement, and as best as I can tell, that tort claim is related to the work on the existing drain at the rear of his lot. I'll continue to work with Adam through that process. West Arcadia Miller Arm, we are still acquiring easements for that. Emily Vestal Drain, that work continues. Elwood Wilson Drain, Craig Holland Arm. We are waiting for a date from the contractor for when they will mobilize out on site. And the Anchorage Drain, offer has been made to the landowner, Mr. McKinney. He had some questions that I have to answer. Tim Knapp sent me those list of questions, and I have to answer those.
And to confirm on that, that's really the only adequate access
Yes.
that we have. There's no other alternative.
Correct. I know Jerry Liston walked that with the contractor and our inspector Courtney, and they looked at just about every other possible means, and it truly is the best way to
Great.
access that, so.
Right. On a separate issue, the Bridgewater, you had that conversation with Jim Henderson?
Yes.
That I was copied on?
Yes,
There on that drain?
correct.
Did you get everything? I saw a lot of emails going back and
Yes.
forth, but it sounded like he was more concerned they wanted to get grass seed in.
Correct.
Everything.
So they've been seeding the ditches they
Right.
go. What we've needed to do is, as they dredge the material, we stockpile it on the bank, let it dry out before we move it, so that's why that
Okay.
material was there.
Thanks for getting that done.
Yes, sir. And that is all for construction.
Okay. We have cleared the pending as-built, pending final report.
Yes, that's another one that, as I said at the last meeting, and 2 weeks goes by really fast, that I need to figure out where that stands. Jerry was working on that, so I need to get up to speed on the status of that and get it completed.
Okay, Drainage Board Attorney. Mr. Howard,
We don't have any updates on these pending items currently.
why?
Well, unless, Gary, did you have any comments? I think some of these, at least for the,
Either
Non-enforcement
we
form?
do them or they come off. We got to get to that point, because these things have been on for years. If there's a reason why they're no longer important, then we need an explanation for the board, or we need to get it done.
so I know for the non-enforcement forms, Gary,
Yes, that one, I have a draft of a form on my desk yet to review. But the issue with that one was, at the time, we had passed several ordinances regarding utilities and their responsibilities when they're working within our regulated drain, and so we needed to update those forms. They have been updated, I just need to review them.
Can you get that done by next meeting?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
And Gary, can we make sure that we include that new indemnification language on there as well?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll send it to you.
Why don't you guys set up a time to go through it? I mean, that's the only way I get stuff done, quite honestly, is to put a date on the calendar to get it done. And the same on these others, it just, people are sliding through cracks while we don't get things done. Any other items pending updates?
I do not have updates on any of the surveyor's items. Number 8, that is in process. I'm going to have to look at number 9. I believe that has actually been completed. I will confirm that. And I believe number 10 has also been approved by the board. Number 6, Elwood Wilson Drain, 1532 South Street, acquisition offer. I need to check with Tim on that. He and I met with the property owner several weeks ago, and I need to follow up to see if he's made the formal offer with her or not. Her position has not changed in terms of her not wanting to sell,
Is that the
but,
one where the house is gonna fall in the creek?
correct. And I'm going to meet with a contractor out there to see what can be done in the short term. It's extremely difficult, and it's going to be hard to control the cost to have it not be.
I think we determined we're gonna buy the property, didn't we?
We decided we were going to make an offer, but not necessarily under threat of condemnation at first, was what we decided.
Did we make an offer?
That's what I need to check with Tim to see if he's actually made the offer to her or
Before it falls
not.
into the creek, I wanna make sure we've made the offer.
Right. Yep, I can
So-
double check with Tim to see if he's
When she
actually
turns it down and it
made the
falls
offer.
into
Actually, Mike, it's your job to check with Tim to see if the offer's done.
Okay. Thank you.
I know 4 and 5 on ours, those are in the hands of Carmel. We asked for signatures, and I know we follow up with them all the time and don't hear much from them.
Oh, wait a minute. Are they supposed to sign a variance or request a variance?
Yeah, this goes back far enough that we didn't have those, I don't know that we had the variance agreements at the time.
No, it is for the variance.
It is for the variance agreements, okay. We can follow up with them again. There's no
Just in
response.
writing, please. Some of these,
Yes.
let's go in writing. Then we have documentation.
It's the same with the Meyer landscaping agreement, number 7.
I actually have an update on that one.
You do have an update.
Yeah.
I'll come to the podium, please.
This
And
one-
remind us what these are.
Yeah, this one, we were simply waiting on there was a revision to the non-enforcement that they initially submitted, and as a result, we needed another notary sheet, and we actually got that last week. So we should be able to bring it to the next board meeting.
Okay.
Outstanding. They were another one that we continued to reach out to them, and they would not respond. William McKinstry Dam, Lake Stonebridge Waiver, I've been working with Dave Compton on that. We just need something signed by the HOA. I'll follow up with him again on that. And I know Exit 10 Saxony Hospital relocation, we were waiting on the as-built information on that, and I don't think the work's actually complete yet to do that.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think maybe we just need to have a policy that either we get responses or we take enforcement.
take enforcement? Yes.
So to say it's your office time and we just get things rolling. Do we have consensus on that?
Thank you, that will,
So if we
Move
come
them
up with some
along.
standard letters to say, we've reached out, you're not responding, these will be our next steps. Okay.
You know, if I could bring this up, who all do we use for notaries here? Because I know there's been several people that they've retired, they've left,
Yes.
you know, and it's kind of scarce. Is anybody looking at that, or who's a notary, who's not?
Diane's a notary.
I know she is, but she had to reply and she got it back.
Okay, I'm a notary, but my name's on a lot of the documents.
Yeah, she can't notarize her own.
So that
Okay.
kind of makes it.
I understand.
So you're
Who else?
testing it as
I'm just asking because it just seems like people are running around, well, who do we
Right.
have for a notary? Who can do this?
we've been sending them to Jenny over in the auditors, right? Is it Jenny, is she in the auditor's office?
I don't know where Pam sends them.
Yeah.
so,
I know there's several people in other departments in the historic courthouse, and then Diana is as well.
And then, Commissioner, we have Jan and Tracy are both notaries, but we try to keep them just the legal
Yeah.
documents prepared by us.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about some type of, I mean,
What's that?
Well, in
I
theory,
kept asking Diana and she kept getting a lot of requests and then she said, well, I guess I'll go reply, and so she did.
Are these requests from the general public or about like this kind of thing specifically?
I
Because
think it's a number of things.
'Cause we-
Different offices are coming in, I mean,
What about
during
her
the day.
assistant in there? She know
I think Christine is.
Christine?
Christina would be a good one at
She
Central.
would be a
Spot.
good one to.
She needs
well,
to
in
get it
front
if she's
desk
not.
over there.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
receptionist, I mean, you just get qualified and you have your notary log. It's gotten a
Well,
lot more specific.
I only
on
bring
that
it up
training.
because it does get asked a lot and
Right.
people don't know who to go to.
Right.
And with people retiring, I mean,
Yeah, we've had, my understanding is we used to have many
Yeah.
notaries here in both buildings, and it has dwindled.
I know a couple years ago, this is unrelated to Drainage Board and the Surveyor's Office, but there were several members in the auditor's office who were called in to testify for notary issues on a signature, sorry. And I think after that, a lot of them stopped renewing their license over there after that, because I think it was kind of not a very,
Wouldn't the
The thing
clerk's
is-
office have Harold Road?
I don't know. See, the front office of the clerk's office would be a good one too, if it's because we can send them crosswise where it's not a conflict. But under the new notary laws, that testimony shouldn't be as critical because they've gotten tightened up, and you should have a notary log that says what you checked, what IDs. And you can still request, I think, a copy of their driver's license to put in that log.
I think it's probably best practice, if not required now.
can you look at, I mean, just, I think we all ought to know who are.
Well, let's have a standard protocol if we're acting as a government authority providing notaries, that we have the backup. Because you can't close real estate without providing a copy of your driver's license for that very reason.
And with this fraudulent taking, there's a big issue out there, and the notary, I know the last couple of years we were over there, the standards for the notary keep getting more strict.
Right.
Because they gotta be able to track down,
Well,
The
what
validity
their
of the
chain of authority was,
yeah.
and if they decline, they'll just invite them to get a notary someplace else.
Yeah, we can see what those, what the options are. Like Lynette said, Pam directs people in our office to somebody, I don't know who that is.
But I think
Like I
it's
said, I know I've had-
have protocol on what we accept.
I was saying, I think that's the one, we should probably refrain from doing outside items, you can send them to a bank or somewhere else, but for internal county business, I think it'd be helpful.
Well, I don't care about doing outside as long as we have protocol, so if it comes into question, you say, well, they gave me a driver's license, it looked like them, it had information on it, it's current. But notaries now have to go through training. I know,
Right.
because I have one.
I know, that's what I heard, that several of the people in the building, if it wasn't a retirement, was that with the new laws and whatnot, they just chose not to
Well, plus you
re-up
have to have a
there.
bond, I mean, you still have to have a current
Well,
bond.
we're just sending them to you, Christine.
You'd be Von Hilda of notaries.
And I would presume that if we're gonna make that a function of their job, the county would pick up the bonds and
Yeah.
those things.
Well, they should. Okay, is anything else? What
I have two updates, information that the board had requested, and then I would like to introduce a new staff member. But for two vacations that came before the last meeting that were associated with development projects, the Finley Creek development on the George and Stevens drain and the Oris Brendel drain on the Kimblewick development, you had asked if we had acquired any easements, if any of the easements being vacated were purchased. Each of the George Stevens dates to 1915, and I see no record of a reduced width or anything.
Oh, God.
And the Oris Brendel dates to 1953, so I don't think there's any easements that were acquired associated with those. We requested a hearing be set for the roadway acreage in Sheridan, and you had asked if we had already, if the county had paid the first installment of 2025. They did not. Sheridan actually paid that. I was incorrect in my representation of the board of what that hearing was for. The hearing was not to establish the assessments. The assessments were already there. Janet indicated that with the change in the government and the township, that we went through all the acreage that was being assessed and adjusted it as necessary. There were several ones where roadways pay more of an assessment at a higher rate because of the pavement and they increase more drainage. Some of them were paying that, but also being assessed 3 times. So that complicates how we determine the acreage in the watershed. So to simplify it, Janet went through and made everything consistent. So that's really what this hearing is for. It is for adjustments to the acreage in the watershed and what is being assessed to the roadways. So,
Okay, sounds good.
but of important note, though, Sheridan did pay the first installment of 2025 for the roadways.
Right.
And then I'd like to introduce Justin Russell.
I thought there was a new person out there. I thought you were
Yes.
going to come testify and complain.
Yeah, I thought it was my contact.
So very happy to have Justin. He has a great background in construction and whatnot, so he is our drainage inspector. So this is Steve Bates's job and Gavin Maxwell's job, so he will help us manage all our work orders and the contractors, our 8 or 9 contractors that do all of our maintenance projects.
Great. Welcome.
That's good. And I've got one other question.
Yes,
We are open Columbus Day?
yes.
Normally are.
Okay, because my meetings this year shifted and I looked again. Okay.
It is, yeah.
That's all I have. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Any other items to come before the board? Is there a motion to adjourn?